I'll get you a little video real quick. This is our second of our 21-foot gates. We're getting ready to rebuild a fence right next to that old schoolhouse I showed you, and this one's going to go on that one side of the road, and the other one will go on the other. Built them this big for semis to turn in, but we have wire gates, but we got a lot of problem with people just kind of going everywhere because it's like they think it's their land. So put some gates up and padlock them. Not that it's going to stop anybody, but it'll at least kind of make them think about it. But these are this is real light. It's 1.5 inches, but it's 14 gauge. But we built it the way we did, and then we put a piece across just to stiffen it sideways, and it makes a big difference. These will have a wheel on one end, just to roll on, and then this side, we used this for our hinge side, and what these will do is we'll just weld these with a piece of strap to a piece of 6-inch pipe, and you weld when you get your gate set and leveled. Then you kind of adjust this to where you want it. Then you weld these two, and then this just pivots. Well, this will be welded to the post, and the gate will pivot inside of it, and this keeps it up and down. But we've got another place we're gonna build some gates, 3 14-foot gates in a trap. It'll be right in the corner, so we can just kind of move cattle around. But we might paint these. They'll be painted way after they go on. It won't be until they're up, maybe a year or so afterwards. But yes, so these gates, and we just did it all with I got a wire feed welder, and it makes a big difference. You can do it pretty quick, and you can weld thinner steel with it a lot quicker, and it makes it pretty stout. Well, and this is the other thing that's been going on. I got me a set of duals for the 7810. The tires are shot on it, but I was just gonna pull the tires off the tractor and put on them, and put 2 new tires on the tractor. So those are here, and I'll show you the rest of it. Those are the duals for the 7800. Brand new tires. I need to pull them off and put them on the tractor. So these were full of sand and rust, like a lot of sand. But I've got this tank, and I had a barrel full of diesel that I pulled out of my feed truck when I was draining the tanks. They were kind of bad, but I just put these down in here, and I filled it up to the bottom of it, and I'm just letting it soak in those threads. And I'll get a brush and clean them, and then here are the bolts. I'm just soaking the threads up, and I'll brush them out and everything. But yeah, that turned out to be a great deal for me. The guy on the YouTube saw, and I'd actually found out, I had talked to him about 4 years ago about a mixer, and he had these, and they just what I needed. Actually, it was just about perfect. But so yeah, that's kind of what's been going on. We're getting ready to fire our irrigation well up here in end of the week. It's cold today, but it's that time. It's ready to start growing. The one thing I was just kind of wanted to mention is just maybe some advice. If you have a chance to talk to somebody who's kind of doing what you're doing, or just, spend the time, talk to the person, and kind of listen, because you could learn quite a bit from them. And you might learn things that will save you a lot of money. You might learn, you might try what they're doing and it may not work for you. Try to get somewhere where I can just kind of sit down. But yeah, so the guy who brought me the duals, he does pretty much the same thing. Runs a lot more kevs than I do, but he ended up coming up just to look at the roller mill, because he's gonna look at doing something like that. But it's good to be able to talk to people. If you have an opportunity where you're doing something and someone's willing to take the time and talk to you and say, hey, this is what I'm doing, and yeah, it's working for me, it's not working for me, that's very, very valuable. And that the guy, how I'd actually talked to him before is I had an old vertical I was selling, and I went to my feed truck, and he ended up not buying it. But I was talking to him, and he saw that I had maybe I mentioned I had a hay grinder, and people who have verticals don't really think about it, but I had a vertical when I bought my hay grinder because it saves wear and tear on the machine, and it saves a lot of time mixing. Because when you put a bale of hay in a vertical mixer, it can take 20 minutes. You're going to sit there for at least 20 minutes just in trying to get your hay size down. And you got this big wad of hay just sitting there eating on it. And so, I kind of mentioned it to him that it's like, well, I used to grind my hay because it saves so much time just grinding it. Even where I'm not grinding it that fast, I used a lot less diesel. And so, maybe the guy will buy him a hay grinder, maybe he won't, but it's you can kind of look at things like that and be like, oh, I really didn't think about that, but that may save me money over years and years. But yeah, so for kind of the guys who are wanting to get into cattle, because cattle can be really tricky. I mean, they can be very tricky. Every set of calves is different. None of them are the same, and the weather's always changing. So, like right now it's 40 degrees, and the past week it's been 70, and tomorrow it's gonna be 70 again. So the weather's always changing. It's gonna affect your calves, and if you can talk to people who are doing relatively close to the same thing, or maybe even something completely different, that maybe that's a better way to go. You don't have to, it's not like you're going to do exactly what they're doing. Maybe you want to, but you can pick up little things here and there, and it will help you out tremendously. So you will learn a lot more talking to people. And you got to take some things with a grain of salt, because some people are just they like to blow smoke, but you can usually sort those out pretty quick as to whether they're just full of it or not. And because usually the guys who aren't, they're either have dealt with similar things that you have, or they will tell you, yeah, this was not good, or this is what happened. And so yeah, I don't want this to get too long-winded, but I just wanted to get this up here. Really appreciate the guy who contacted me on these, and want to thank Ted Keller. He found me a set up next to him, but these ones were just a lot closer and ended up being cheaper. I am going to have to buy a set of tires, but I was probably going to have to buy a set anyway for the tractor, so this probably be cheaper in the long run, and I need it to be cheaper. So thanks to everyone who actually helped out with that. That Well, it was really cool deal, and probably saved me some money. So thanks, and keep watching.